Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So just the other day we found out how Mama June made out in court. I'm going to go over the stipulations again and how she did make out, like what the terms are that she has to abide by to keep from having a trial. So we know she was arrested, and this whole season that's been talked about a lot. It's been the topic of discussion many times because Pumpkin and Alana, they're rebuilding their relationship with Mama June. And one thing sitting in the back of their heads is, what happens if she goes to jail? Then what? Like, where do we go from there? Because we've been repairing our relationship. So if she goes to jail for a year or two, because that's what Mama June was looking at, she was looking at possibly having to serve 2 years in jail. So it's just been like, what's going to happen? Like, we're finally getting to a place where we feel like a family again. So if she goes to jail, how are we going to come back from that? So we know that Mama June did have court, and I think she made out okay. And I'm going to answer a few questions as well, because when I done the video the other day, I was talking about her stipulations. I listed the rules that she has to abide by, and there was one rule that I've gotten a lot of comments on. And hopefully I can make it make sense a little bit. So it says here that she avoided jail time after being charged with possession of crack cocaine by agreeing to do community service and 1 year of court supervision. She was arrested back in March 2019. So this has been 2 years, you guys, that this has been hanging over their head. And let me tell you something, that is not something you want hanging over your head for 2 years. If your freedom's going to be taken away from you, you know. So they were searched. Drugs and drug paraphernalia were found on Mama June and Gino. Actually, it was found in the vehicle, and Mama June took the blame for it. She said it was hers. They were both arrested. So the provisions of June's agreement include random drug screenings and random searches of her car, home, and possessions. She is not allowed to use alcohol or drugs or visit places where alcohol is either used or sold. Now, a lot of people ask me, like in the comment section, people's like, wait, Walmart sells alcohol, so can she not go to Walmart? I think it really means like a restaurant, bars, somewhere that it's served. Like, I think she's fine going to Walmart because it's not, being served there. So that's what I think they mean, is that she has to avoid places that she knows serves alcohol. It says she must also remain employed and attend counseling. We know she has some fees that she has to pay. So yeah, other than that, if she complies with those provisions, all charges against her will be dismissed. If Mama June is unable to comply with those provisions, then her case will go to trial. And at that point, she's back looking at some time. So the next thing that I wanted to talk about is what's been going on since Mama June has been back to filming, because we know there was a time to where she wasn't really filming. I mean, unless they could catch her off somewhere, if she was at a court date and Dodo, knew, and she told production, they would go to the courthouse and wait outside all day, hoping to, get a glimpse of Mama June so they could put it on the show. But now that she's back, Mama June says that producers have a set of strict guidelines to ensure that her and Gino are walking the straight and narrow while filming the show. That's right, you guys. According to Mama June, the producers for their show, they make Mama June take drug tests. They have strict guidelines, and they are actively trying to make sure that Mama June and Gino do not relapse. And if they do, they're going to be kicked off the show. Now, that's honestly, I think that's great that they are holding them accountable. However, we know this is not how production used to work. Gino went on an IG Live rant about a year and a half ago, talking about how production knew about it. I mean, he goes on IG and he's like, they knew everything. They supplied alcohol. They would help us when we would have to fly somewhere. They would help us sneak alcohol and stuff through the airports. So he's always said, like, they knew it was not a shock. We also know that Pumpkin and Josh, they were aware that Mama June was doing drugs. They just had no idea how bad it had gotten. So it wasn't a secret in production before. And it just makes me wonder, Why couldn't they hold her accountable back then? I mean, I'm glad that they are now, but do you guys get where I'm coming from? Like, are they doing this because they really care and they want to see Mama June do good? Are they doing this for other reasons? To look good for themselves? I have my theory on why I think they're doing this. So we know that Dr. Ish is now involved in Mama June's recovery and helping Mama June and the girls fix their relationship. One of the things that Dr. Ish told Pumpkin is that Mama June should be willing to take drug tests and that Pumpkin should ask Mama June for that. You know, he's like, if you want to meet up with her and you want her to take a drug test, I think that's okay. I think she should take a drug test so she can prove to you that she's sober. And the very first time that Pumpkin met up with Mama June in like a while, she took a drug test and they said she failed that one. However, at the end of that episode, it did come back and say that it was sent to a lab, and come to find out she didn't have anything in her system that she shouldn't have had. After that, when we got to see her on this season meet up with Alana and Pumpkin, where Dr. Ish facilitated that meeting, she takes a drug test then as well, and she passes that one. So I'm wondering if the drug test and production setting these guidelines is more something that Dr. Ish and Pumpkin has put in place. Like, we're going to need you guys to back us up on this. If Mama June and Gino fail these drug tests, we're going to need some support and them knowing that they're no longer going to be able to be on the show. That's where I think this is coming from, because I don't really feel like production really cares that much. Honestly, when you think about it, I feel like production's job has always been to make the show entertaining. So if they're back there giving Gino alcohol, knowing how he would act when he would get alcohol in his system, I think they were doing that because they knew that it would bring some drama and create a show that got ratings, right? That's what I think. Mama June did say, production holds me accountable. I have to take weekly drug tests. And if she doesn't go take that drug test, or if they fail the drug test, she cannot be on the show. So I think that's awesome. I do question, you know, why they're doing it now. And they, back in the early days, why they were being so, like, enabling them so much and even helping them. It would have been nice if back in the day they would have put their foot down and said, listen, look, no, we're not doing this. We know what you guys are doing. We're not going to be supplying the alcohol. We're not going to help you guys get stuff through the airports. We need you to get it together, June. It would have been nice if they would have done that back then, you know. But Mama June and Gino, they seem to be doing so much better. They've been sober for over a year now, which is awesome. Mama June always says, like, I know relapse is a part of recovery. She says, but it's not a part of my recovery. I'm not going to relapse. So that's great. Also, if you watch the show, like, I really have to say, Gino is completely different from who he was back in the day. Like, back in the day when he was really bad off on drugs, he was very mean to Mama June. He would cuss her. I mean, it was bad. And now he's like such a good dude. Like, I am actually liking Gino this season. What do you guys think? Are you guys starting to be fans of Gino as well? He's like the voice of reason every episode, you know. So I'm starting to like him. I think it's great. It looks like they're doing so much better. I think it's awesome that production is holding them accountable so they can't slip up. Like, if they do, you know you're going to lose something. You're going to lose that paycheck, and you have to keep a job because the courts said so. That's part of the provisions that the judge set for you. So you have to keep that job. You cannot mess up. I think it's great, you guys. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you surprised that production is stepping up and setting some guidelines for Mama June? Also, what do you think the reasoning is behind that? Because, like I said before, they were like some of the biggest enablers for Mama June and Gino. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Also, I try to put a recap of Mama June Road to Redemption up every Monday. So the show airs on Friday night. The next week, that Monday, I put up a recap. So if you're interested in that and you have not watched them yet and you're not aware, I do that. Make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're interested. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you are notified of each time I upload a new video. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.